Hello and welcome to 80s Rewatch, the podcast where we rewind the tape and dive back into the movies that made the decade unforgettable. This week, we're hitting the road with National Lampoon's Vacation, the ultimate comedy road trip that defined 80s chaos. Starring Chevy Chase as the ever-optimistic Clark Griswold, a man determined to give his family the perfect holiday, no matter how badly it goes wrong. From cross-country mishaps and questionable roadside stops to that unforgettable destination Wally World. The film delivers non-stop laughs, iconic moments, and a reminder that sometimes the journey really is the destination, especially when everything falls apart. So grab your map, load up the Wagon Queen family truckster, and join us as we revisit one of the most quotable and chaotic comedies of the 80s.
To me, I'm sorry, it's so naff, but it looks so cool now. I'm getting to that age now where skinny jeans are a thing of the past for me.
Up the hill to grandmother's house we go.
Oh, it's the lady in the red Ferrari.
Pretty bites, Dad. Well, biting back. Real tomato sauce, Eddie. Nothing but the best. Hey, Tenderfoot, move your chicken wings. Set us up with 4 red eyes.
You can't pick a dog up like that.
He's absolutely flat out, head back, mouth open, snoring away. And he's supposed to be driving.
Yeah, he's
got so funny.
Lou Glutz Motors. Clark's your good old American dad.
The Wally World National Anthem.
Hook up the family truckster, Darren, and let's hit the road to Wally World.
So, Simon, this has got to be one of the funniest films ever made, with some of the best characters, and from the first moment I saw it, I absolutely loved it.
I'll agree with you there, Darren. I think for me, and probably like you just hit on there, I think it's the characters that make this film special.
Yeah, brilliant.
It is. And Chevy Chase, back in the 80s, especially the early 80s like this one, this was just his niche, wasn't it? This was him, just being Chevy Chase.
Yeah, Chevy Chase is, I don't know, there's something about him. Some people have got that aura about him where they're funny without even saying anything.
Yeah, I get that. You know, he's just, I think for me, it's his facial expressions and the little things he does, the quirkiness of him. I think that's what makes him funny.
Yeah, and he just looks like a normal, everyday, regular fella.
He does. Clark W. Griswold is just a regular man like you and I, Darren.
Yes, well, there's nothing regular about you, Simon, and definitely not me.
No, but I did really enjoy this one, and I haven't watched it for a long time, and there's so much of it that I had forgotten.
Yeah. So where did you first watch it? Can you remember all those years ago?
I think I watched it. I would imagine it would have been a TV movie, you know, the one you tape off the television.
Oh, right,
It would have been that. I can't remember renting it. I remember seeing it in the video shop. I remember the box art quite, you know, I still remember it now.
Yeah.
He's like a big muscle bound, isn't he? And he's there with the family wrapped round him. So it would have been probably there.
Because it's quite early, isn't it, 1983?
Yeah, but it's quite a grey area when it came onto VHS, which I'll touch on in a minute. But yes, so it was 83, so it was early. And for me, I would imagine it would have been a TV movie. How about you? When did you first watch it? Can you remember?
I watched it sometime in the 80s, but a little bit like you. I can't remember exactly. But I watched it at a friend's house. His family was watching it. And like you, I'd seen the box art and the standees in the video library loads of times. But I completely ignored it for years because I thought it was one of those that'll be just too silly to laugh. You remember I've said it in previous podcasts where our elders thought that American comedy was different to British comedy. You just won't get it. So you kind of grew up with that. And it was only by chance I saw it. I was calling at a friend's house and they'd rented it out and he asked me to come in. And so I went in and that was it. I started watching it.
It is, like you say, it's very iconic. For me, this is like most of the comedies of the 80s. It's got that similar sort of tone, hasn't it? It's just not really, there's a bit of foul language in it, there's a bit of this and that, but it's just very, I don't know, you know, like Wildcats, remember Wildcats? Yes. And things like that. And it's Beverly Hills Cop, it's very like, that's the 80s humour and comedy to me. And I think that's why it still stands up to us, because it is what we remember. And I think as a younger child watching this, the humour kind of goes over your head a little bit.
It does when you were younger, yes.
It does, but now you watch it back, some of the things he says is quite, you think, oh no, it is amusing. And especially with Eddie and things like that, you have to listen to Eddie because what comes out of Eddie's mouth is just genius.
It is. He doesn't say much, but what he does say and his delivery is just brilliant.
Oh, it's fantastic. And like we say, I'd have watched this probably when I was like 11, 12, somewhere around there, that humour would have gone straight over my head.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
But, looking at it now, looking back at it, it's really well shot. The scenery, everything about it is perfect.
Can I just say, going back to the 80s, a thought that came into my head while I was thinking about this film. I remember seeing the video box on the side, and I don't know whether it was the same with your video libraries, but at ours, you just got a black video case. You didn't get the actual case with the front cover on it.
Yeah, we were the same. Some you did if it was an older rental, which turned into, do you remember the 50p or the £1 week rentals where you got it for a week?
Yes.
Because it was an older film. So those you'd get in the proper boxes. And the other ones you'd get in like you say, a black or a see-through video case. And now, sat in my man cave, I have got National Lampoons Vacation and I've got National Lampoons European Vacation VHSs, ex-rentals on the shelf.
Have you really?
Yeah, I'll take a picture, I'll send them you later. I've got them both because I'm like you, I remember that box art. I really remember it very well. Now, if you say National Lampoons Vacation, I automatically think of that box.
Yes, and Clark, was it based on Conan or something, Conan the Barbarian?
Yes, it was. The person that drew it based it on Conan. And it's brilliant. But if you look at the one for, when I'll send them you later, have a look. If you look at National Lampoon's Vacation, he's there. He's quite buff. If you look at European Vacation, they made him even more muscular. Chevy Chase on the other, because it's the same, isn't it? But slightly different.
Right.
On the European Vacation box, they're very, very similar to looking at them. I've got them now. They're there behind me. I can see them now.
Very brilliant. So where did you rewatch it then?
Rewatched it, Darren. If you're a regular follower to this little podcast of ours, on the sofa last night, sat there with my regular cup of coffee, and I had, now I may get the pronunciation of this wrong. There's two ways you can say this. I'm going to say it how I say it for the biscuit of choice. It was a Nice biscuit.
Oh, nice.
Is it nice or is it Nice? Which one do you go for? It's Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit more cosmopolitan.
Yeah,
Nice.
so I sat there with my cup of coffee and my Nice biscuits, dunking away, watching National Lampoons. So this week's biscuit of choice was the good old Nice biscuits.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I was the same. Not with the biscuits. I rewatched it about 8 p.m. on the sofa with a glass of red, and I was thinking about these biscuits of choice. And if the viewers are listening or the listeners are listening, well, they've got to be, otherwise they wouldn't be listening. I feel a little bit left out now, Simon. So I'm bringing in a new section to this podcast, and it's called the 2-drink snack of choice.
I like it.
Yes, you know what it's like when you're in
Yes.
front of the TV and you've had a couple of drinks, and from nowhere, all of a sudden it comes, I could actually eat something. Just a little snack to enhance the overall experience of watching the film, which is my excuse. So, so the 2-drink snack of choice this week was good old-fashioned salted peanuts.
Oh, you can't go wrong with salted peanut, Darren.
Yeah, it doesn't totally complement red wine or the stomach the next day, but I fancied some at the time, so I thought, I'm going to put that in as my 2-drink snack of choice.
I'm looking forward to this section, Darren. I look forward to seeing what is next week's snack of choice. So we've got the biscuit of choice and we've got the snack of choice. This week, unfortunately, I wasn't handed any from one of our followers. There was no donations. I had to nip to the local supermarket to buy the Nice biscuits.
Oh, poor old Simon.
I know. Terrible. But no, I like that, Darren. Well done.
So, are we ready for your top 10 from 1983?
Yes, so we dive into the top 10 from 1983.
Yes,
okay, so the top 10 for 1983. Now, this, again, varies wherever you look. So I normally look at Internet Movie Database as top domestic gross. So I'll go off that, which was the box office ones that performed the best.
Okay.
So, because I've looked for this a few times and it varies. So I thought I'll stick to what I've been doing and stick where I've been going. So at number 10, we've got National Lampoon's Vacation.
Is it really? Number 10, yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, that. And number 9 is Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom?
Mr. Mum, as we'd say in the UK. It's Michael Keaton, isn't it, this one?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I have. It's where he starts looking after the kids instead of going to work.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that seems to ring a bell.
Yes, and number 8 is Risky Business.
Ah, Tom Cruise.
Good film, that one.
It's not bad, actually. I'm sure that's an early Tom Cruise film, isn't it?
It is, yes. And number 7 was Staying Alive.
Oh, John Travolta, yes.
He wasn't
Brilliant.
trying to dance like Travolta when they've had a few on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
And number 6 is Octopussy, a James Bond.
Oh, yes. My son's a very big James Bond fan, and that's one of his favourites.
Number 5 is War Games. I like War Games.
I like War Games. Is that Matthew Broderick?
It is, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
see, I've seen it. Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? And quite scary at the end.
It is, yeah. I like this one as well for number 4. I'm sure you'll like this, Trading Places.
Trading Places is brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic. That's Eddie Murphy, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll get to that at some point. We're bound to get to that one at some point. Number 3 is Flashdance.
Flashdance. I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it. It's okay, shall I say.
Seen it. And this one, number 2, I don't think I've seen this. I've seen bits of it, but I don't think I've watched it all the way through. Is Tootsie.
Tootsie, yes, I've seen it. I've seen it once. And Dustin Hoffman, isn't it?
Yes. And this one is quite a big film. So there's no surprise. This one is number 1 in the box office of 1983. It is Star Wars Return of the Jedi.
Star Wars. Unfortunately, I've never been a big Star Wars fan.
I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. Don't get me wrong, I've seen them. I like the first 3.
Yes.
And then for me, it kind of loses itself.
Yes.
If I'm honest. The first 3, I think, have got a certain charm to them. The other ones are just over the top, big budget. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, first film I ever saw at the pictures, Star Wars, 1977.
Nice.
And I did like it. But if there's any Star Trek listeners out there... Star Trek? No. If there's any Star Wars listeners out there, we do apologise, don't we, Simon?
We do. They are good films.
They are, yes.
Just not a massive... It's what you like. It's everyone's choice is different. I like them, but I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, if that makes sense. So shall we quickly just touch on when this was released cinematically?
Yes, please.
And this is what I was just touching on earlier. In the USA, they got it on July the 29th, 1983.
Yes.
We got it here in the UK on October the 20th, 1983. Now, the VHS release for this, I can't seem to find a date for it. Now, some have said it didn't come out on VHS till the September 17th, 1990. No, I remember seeing it in a video shop.
Yeah, I'm sure I saw it in the 90s, in the 80s.
I did, but I can't find a specific date for it when it was released on VHS, which I think is quite bizarre. I can find European Vacation, I can find Christmas Vacation, and is it Las Vegas Vacation?
Oh, brilliant, yes.
Yeah, so I can find all those, but this one, for some strange reason, doesn't come with a VHS release date.
Ah, well, as long as we know,
yes,
that's all that matters.
We know, I know it was in good old Christine's video shop at some point in the 80s because I saw it.
That video shop must have been massive because it seems to stock every video in the world.
Good old Christine's. The memories, Darren, the memories. Gone now.
Can I just ask you about Christine's? Did she sell sweets? Because some of the video libraries started selling sweets and drinks.
She did towards the end, she did, but originally it was just a good old-fashioned VHS, and it had a few Betamax as well, so it was just like the rental store. But I still remember going in, and I still remember they had a magazine. I think it was once a month there was a magazine what was coming out, and I used to look through that magazine.
Oh, yes.
I used to peruse it page to page. And because obviously I was in there all the time, she got to know you, and it was quite good. Like I said before, the Rocky Four standees, so we got that, and we got other things from their posters and things. But I do miss that, that was a big part of my childhood, Christine's video shop.
Yeah, and you come to think of it, I do remember certain little magazines coming out, and you would look, and it'd tell you what will come in next week or next month, and you get excited just from that.
You do, and the one that really sticks in my head, and I don't know why, Best of the Best too. I remember seeing that was coming out next month because I really enjoyed Best of the Best.
Yeah, it is good.
It is. We'll get to that definitely at some point. So
Right,
let's dive in. Let's hook up the family truckster, Darren, and let's hit the road to Wally World.
Brum, brum. Right. So if you ever wanted a song to put you in a good mood and keep you there through the opening credits, it's this one. It's a fantastic start, isn't it? And just puts a smile on your face straight away.
Very catchy, very upbeat. And I think I've read somewhere that there's dogs barking near the end of it, isn't there?
It certainly is, the barking in time.
And yes.
Can I just say that until I did some research on this, I didn't know it was Lindsay Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac that wrote and played it.
It is, yeah. And the bit I like from the start of this is all the postcards.
Yes.
I sat there last night and I'm just looking at all these postcards, and you're looking thinking, postcards used to be amazing, didn't they? Back in the 80s, when we didn't have phones to text each other where we were in the world, you'd send a postcard, wouldn't you?
Certainly would. And you'd probably ring up from abroad and say, "Has my postcard come?"
Yeah, you get home before the postcard. That was the standard joke, wasn't it? You get home and the postcard would turn up a week later. But very good. And it's just like little scenic bits of America and places, isn't it, that you see on the postcards?
It is. And then you see the names come up. And as soon as you see the name Chevy Chase, you know you're in for a treat.
This man, like we've just said, in the early 80s was just brilliant at what he did. He really was brilliant at this sort of genre of film, wasn't he? This was his bread and butter, shall we say.
Oh, and who doesn't love a road trip movie? Everybody does.
Who wouldn't just want to do that? Because don't they do 2,900 miles or something to get to Wally World?
Yeah, something like that.
And it takes them nearly a fortnight, doesn't it, to get there?
It's ludicrous.
It is, but I would love, and I've always thought this, and I said this to my wife, I've always thought if I had lots of money before we had kids and all that, I would have loved to have gone on a road trip across America in a 1978 Trans Am like Burt Reynolds in Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh.
I would have loved that, Darren.
And I'm not surprised that.
Yeah, I'd have loved it. But it's just fantastic. And what I didn't realise, this was directed by Harold Ramis, wasn't it?
It certainly was. Do you say Ramis? Because I say Ramis.
Ramis, same as nice and nice. Whatever we say, whatever we say. You know what I mean? But I didn't know that. And I must have seen this a few times. I didn't realise the Ghostbusters Egon. And who wrote this? You'll know this one.
Yes, the screenplay was done by John Hughes.
Exactly. I think this is why we like this, because we're big John Hughes fans, aren't we, me and you?
Yes. Now, having a look at it, Harold Ramis, he rewrote it, didn't he?
Yes, because this was originally, it was a short story, wasn't it?
Yes. Wasn't it about John Hughes? He had an ill-fated trip to Disneyland when he was 5.
Yes, and he called it Vacation 58, didn't he? Vacation 58.
Yeah, very good.
And it was in National Lampoons magazine in September 1979.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was in there. So this is how this became a film. So I think some big movie executives read it and they thought, oh, we can turn this into a film. But it was a lot darker. And I think the original script for this film was a lot darker, wasn't it? Because at the end, Clark goes mad, doesn't he? And they wanted to centre it like on Disney World, didn't they?
Yes. And
he was going to get Walt Disney, wasn't he? Take him hostage instead of, what's his name? What is it, Wally? What's the Wally bloke's name?
Roy Wally.
Roy Wally, that's it, sorry. Yeah, instead of Roy Wally, it was going to be Walt Disney, wasn't it? He was going to hold hostage.
Yes.
That was it. So, but it starts off pretty good, because where's he going when it starts off?
He's going to trade his car in, isn't he?
He's going to change it. And do you remember what the garage is called?
No, I don't.
Lou Glutz Motors.
What?
Yes, Lou Glutz Motors is where he takes the old, they're called station wagons, aren't they, in America?
Yes. And the manager sees him coming, doesn't he?
It's Eugene Levy, isn't it, the manager?
Is it really?
You know, from American Pie?
Yes.
Yes, it's him. But he sees him coming, doesn't he? He knows he hasn't got his new car.
Yes. At first, I remember seeing that and thinking, oh, he's seen him coming. He's going to kind of tuck him up here with a rubbish car. But now I watched it last night and I'm thinking the horror on his face is like, I forgot.
Yes. he forgot he's coming to pick up his new car. And it's the way Clark, he sets it now, doesn't it? How he's talking to Rusty.
Yes.
And this is how he talks to him basically all the way through the film, isn't it? Like, that say goodbye to the old station wagon to the new or whatever, isn't it, on all this? And then this is where we see the good old family truckster for the first time. That car is hideous.
But do you know what he's actually ordered? Which car he's actually ordered, Clark?
Oh, is it some sort of sport?
He's ordered the Antarctic Blue Super Sports wagon with CB and optional rally fun pack. What about that?
Well done. You should be a second-hand car salesman, Darren. But
in a previous life.
Yes, you could get away with it, I'm sure you could. But what I noticed when he stood talking about the family truckster, there's another one in front of it. Did you notice that there's two of them?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, there's two. And there's one in front, and then there's one that Clark's there. And then I like it, because obviously his old car's gone, hasn't it? They're taking it away.
Yes.
And they're just crushing it. And he says, doesn't he, I'm not being fobbed off with this. I'm not having that. I want my old car back.
Yeah, I like the face he pulls, as though he's not standing any bother.
He does, doesn't he? He looks at him and goes, look, I'm not your regular idiot. I know what you're doing here, this, that and the other. If you haven't got my car, I want my old car back.
And I'll take my business elsewhere.
Yes, but while this is going on, his car is being crushed. And the bit I like where he shouts, doesn't he, to get his car back, and then they bring it back.
Oh, yeah, Davenport, isn't it?
Davenport, that's it. And how Clark walks across to it and goes to open the door. Does he not realise half of it's missing?
Yeah, exactly. And but he's trying to sell him the Wagon Queen family truckster, isn't he?
He is, yeah. And like we've just said, that is an awful colour. And if you look at it, it's got 8 headlights on the front.
Has it really?
4 either side. And it's just horrific. But
and do you know what the actual car was?
No, I think you're going to tell me.
It was a Ford Country Squire. And it had been heavily modified. And so they say that after the release of the film, station wagon sales plummeted. And you can see why.
I can see why. And I've looked for different things about this film. And supposedly, I think there was 3 or 4 of them they had. Like, one for close-ups, which is always pristine. Is they call the hero car, don't they?
Yes.
So that's the one they keep pristine. And there's a few others that they got smashed and obviously jumped into the Grand Canyon. And none of them really survived. There's none of them about where normally the odd 1 or 2 survive, don't they? And there isn't any. So what people have done now, they've obviously made them look like this. So there is replicas knocking about, but like you say, it's not the most attractive looking car, is it?
No, it's massive.
It is. And do you know what I noticed when he's driving it home? He's coming down the road, the suspension, it's like a boat. Did you notice it? The suspension's going up and down.
No, I never did.
As he's driving it, as he pulls onto the drive.
Yeah, and his wife, Ellen, she questions it, and Clark says, I changed my mind.
Yeah, gives it, just plays it off, doesn't it? I changed my mind. But what I also took from this is Clark lives in a nice area, in a nice house, doesn't he?
Oh, everybody lives in a nice house in America.
Yeah, why is
that's
everyone...
the way it's portrayed.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's, she comes out and they're looking at it, and she's not impressed with this car at all, is she?
Not at all.
No.
And he turns it off, but it's still running.
It's just a problem that all new cars have. Is that what he says to her?
I think he does. And he goes in and he presses a button and the airbag goes off, doesn't it, in his face?
Yeah. And then you're like, to me, that just looks like a plastic bag, doesn't it?
It does. And look at it. This is 1983. And I remember back in the 80s wondering why they had a balloon going off in his face. I couldn't work it out what it was. It just looked stupid.
It does.
Did you know that airbags would not be common in the UK until the mid-90s? So how far behind were we? There's me thinking it looks stupid, but that's road safety.
It is, but I remember being, like I say, probably 10 to 12. We didn't wear seatbelts, did we, in cars? I remember getting in a car and not putting a seatbelt on.
Again, 1983, it became legal in the UK to wear seatbelts.
Yeah, it did, yeah. I remember getting in cars and not having to put your seatbelt on. And you look at that now, that's ludicrous, isn't it?
It is, and people could drink and they could smoke and not wear a seatbelt.
Yeah. How things have changed for the better, Darren.
But how far behind were we when he's got an airbag in his car and we're laughing?
Yeah, and like I say, it's like I say, we've been miles behind America for years, haven't we? And everything pretty much.
Well, yeah. Anyway, they're in the kitchen next, aren't we?
Oh,
And
what did you take from this? Sorry, Dan. What did you take from this? There's one thing I kept looking at last night thinking, have I seen that right? So I had to rewind it and watch it again.
I'm kind of concentrating on Ellen, who's saying it's not too late to fly, but Clark wants to spend time with his kids, doesn't he, before they all grown up?
He does, but he's doing something. Have you noticed what he's doing?
Is Ellen washing the dishes?
No, Ellen's giving him the dishes. She's like throwing the old food off the dish. She passes it to Clark, who doesn't wash it. He just wipes it with a cloth and puts it in the cupboard.
I've never noticed.
I've never noticed that. I couldn't take my eyes out. I'm thinking, he's not washed that, and the dishwasher's open, and he's just putting it in the thing. I'm like, bizarre. Unless that's meant to happen to be like a comedy thing. But, wow. Yeah, it's quite bizarre to watch him do it.
I do actually do the dishes, so I do know what it means to kind of wash them. But I've never picked up on that. But
I'm like you. I don't want to blow my own trumpet here, Darren. I'm an expert in washing pots because it only seems to be me that does it in our house, to be fair.
I think I've heard it's because you can't cook.
Well, I don't really tend to cook. I'm not a cook. I do the dishes. I empty the dishwasher. That's my job. But no, then she's quite right saying that if they fly, they'll be there quicker and it won't take as long. But then Clark's your good old American dad. He's wanting the road trip, isn't he? He's wanting that time with his family.
Yes, the adventure.
Yes, and it is an adventure. Watching this film, it's a definite adventure.
So next, he goes into the living room where Rusty and Audrey are playing games, aren't they? But he wants to show them his trip schedule. And straight away, I thought to myself, Simon will know what games consoles and computer they're playing.
You've got me there. I actually don't. And I looked at it last night because it's nothing that I remember. It looks a bit Atari-fied and it looks a bit ColecoVision-ified, but I don't know what that is. So I should have really Googled it, but I don't think it's anything. I don't think, because I know my retro consoles.
Of course,
I don't know what that is.
So I had a look and it said the sounds that you hear were from a console called Intellivision. And I remember that.
I remember that because there was Atari, ColecoVision and Intellivision, which were all big in the early 80s before Nintendo came big. Because it was the games console crash, wasn't it, of the early 80s that stopped games consoles.
Yes.
Pretty much. The E.T. game. But I looked and I knew you was going to ask me that. Some strange reason I thought, I know he'll ask me that. And then I just kind of forgot to look. But to me, I don't think it is anything.
But doesn't that sum up the 80s as well?
Yes.
Kids playing video games at home. Now, I only knew a couple of kids that had video games. And I also know that people queued at the door just to have a go. And they only had Pac-Man and Super Breakout.
Yeah, they did. I remember us as kids, we had an Atari 2600 when I was about 8 and 9. So that was the first games console we had. I remember that one. And I remember playing Star Wars on it and Dig Dug. Dig Dug was my favourite. I remember that. But like I say, he's plotting his route on this thing, isn't he?
He is.
So, and it's like a Pac-Man, isn't it? Rusty's trying to eat him because he's trying to plot the route. Then Audrey comes in like a space invader.
Yeah, and shoots him.
Yeah. I thought that was quite funny. And then it's the morning of the trip, isn't it? And you know yourself when you're going away anywhere, that's quite a tense moment until you actually get in the car or get on the plane.
Yes, and I like how all the neighbours come out to tell them everything's going to be okay and everything's this and don't worry, have a good time. You don't get that now, do you?
No, I remember that in the 80s when we went somewhere, your neighbours would come and wave you off.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? They did. And like Ellen says to the neighbour, she says, I've informed the police that we're going away, doesn't she? She says that. And I'm thinking, why do you inform the police you're going away?
Yes. Now, as they back out, all the cases come off the roof, don't they?
Typical Clark Griswold, this one, isn't it? Because did he not think when he loaded them on the roof that they're higher than the garage door?
Exactly. Now, a little fact about this, which you may know or you may not. Numerous times through filming this film, the temperature was absolutely ludicrous, sometimes getting up to 120 degrees in the shade. And on this occasion, it was a particularly hot day, and Harold Ramis wanted them to do so many retakes, and Chevy Chase eventually lost his temper and they argued, and he threw one of the cases at Harold Ramis. Harold Ramis had words with him, and it never happened again.
I've heard that Chevy Chase was quite difficult. You look at things and you watch things, and he was supposedly quite difficult to get along with, wasn't he, filming wise? Because supposedly Bill Murray was in contention to play Clark Griswold.
Yeah. Oh,
now,
right.
I don't think that would have worked.
No.
It might have done, it might not have done, but supposedly when they used to do Saturday Night Live, those two had a proper punch-up, Bill Murray and Chevy Chase.
Wow.
Yeah, they went outside and had a proper punch-up.
But who wouldn't lose the temperature in 120 degrees?
Yeah, you get that, because you kind of look at it, and everywhere they go, they've got really nice weather, apart from the rainy bit later on, but it looks nice. And like you say, the thing I took from this scene is they're going in the family truckster, but obviously Ellen's got like a Volvo car, hasn't she, in the garage at the side of it. There's a silver Volvo. Why didn't they just go in the Volvo?
That's a good question.
A Volvo, it's a proper one of those big old-fashioned, remember the big block ones?
Yes.
It's one of them. And I'm thinking, just in my head as I sat there last night, just dunking my 12th niece biscuit, thinking, why did they not take the Volvo?
Yeah, it's a valid...
Yeah. So, this is how my brain works when we're doing this. But like you say, and then they're off, aren't they? And they're
on
off.
the way. And
they're on the way.
They're in a good mood, aren't they? And Clark and Ellen are singing away. And I have to say, great harmonies between them two. They can really sing.
Oh, yeah, but there's a bit on this. Now, I don't know if you know this. When we first see the highway, when they're just coming onto the highway.
Oh, how many lanes are on that highway?
Yeah, how cool does it look? But that clip of the family truckster coming onto the highway, it's coming like round a bend, isn't it? And then it's coming onto the highway.
Yes.
That was used on the opening credits of a TV series. Do you know which one?
No.
Married with Children, on a little bit of a clip, that clip of the family truckster coming onto the highway, that was on the start of Married with Children.
No.
Yes, for the first 3 seasons.
It's amazing the things you miss. And it's like you've said before, the street in Gremlins is the same one in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Missed it. Never even knew until somebody points it out. That's ridiculous.
This is why I like doing this, because when we do this, obviously we do a little bit of research, and I quite like the research. I quite like knowing what I don't know, if you know what I mean. And I like to be surprised. And that, you look and think, never noticed that. So if I watch an old episode of Married with Children again, it's the first thing I'm going to look for on the
and I bet it
credits.
looks obvious.
Yeah, I bet it's right there in front of you. When you know, you know.
Well, here's another little surprise then.
Go on then.
The singing between Clark and Ellen wasn't intended. They just made that up, and Harold Ramis decided to keep it in.
Good job he did, because like you've said, they're in complete harmony, but that to me screams 80s, having a sing-along in the car as going on holiday. Could you imagine singing along with your good lady wife and your son in the car, Darren? I couldn't with mine. I know if I'm in the car and my voice is raised, it's shouting at the kids to be quiet. You try and concentrate.
Anyway, the kids don't recognise it, do they? So Clark decides to sing the Wally World National Anthem.
Oh, brilliant.
And they all sing. They all know that, don't they?
They know that one. It's that bit at the end when he does that silly noise, isn't it?
Oh, when he goes, Marty Moose, Marty Moose.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's me.
Yeah. That's it. You've got it. Yeah, that always makes me smile. And the bit I like is they're driving down the highway. There's a box of tissues on the dashboard. There's magazines and road maps like they used to back then. And the bit I like from old American cars, they always seem to have bench seats, don't they? Like the front seat is one big long seat.
Yeah.
And the one at the back is one big long seat.
Yeah.
I always think that. Yeah,
that's very good.
I always look at things like that and I think, that's quite a good idea. Get down, have a lie down, passenger, spread your legs out.
And you're away.
Yeah. But like you say, they're away, and like you've just touched on, the weather's perfect, nice and sunny, driving down the highway in the family truckster.
Oh, it's brilliant. And then they show you kind of one of these fantastic aerial shots. And like you've said before, the freeway just looks incredible. But Clark, he's carrying the torch and he's still singing on his own.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, got fed up now.
Yeah, they've had enough. Rusty and Audrey are asleep, aren't they? And Rusty puts his feet on the chair, on the seat, doesn't he? And he sits there and goes, what's that smell?
Yes.
It's his feet.
Which is another one that wasn't intended, but Harold Ramis liked it. So I've heard there was a lot of improvisation on this film.
Yes, I think there's one bit later on which we'll touch on where the police officer pulls them up. That was all improvised. There was no script for that.
Right.
You know, obviously later on with the dog, that was unscripted. They just did it. And they couldn't stop laughing. So at the end of that scene, which we'll get to in a minute, the police officer, you think he's crying. He's trying not to laugh. So that's what it is. But I like this next scene. This next scene, I think, has me in stitches, where he pulls up to the petrol station.
Oh, and he can't find where to put the gas in.
Yeah, he's looking everywhere, isn't he, to put the gas in. And he can't find it. Then he sees a mother and his son pull the license plate down on the car at the side. Now, I'm thinking, as I'm watching that, that's quite a good idea.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
That's a very good idea. So you don't have like a fuel cap on the car. I'm thinking, we've never done that in the UK, have we? I've never seen that on a car in the UK.
No, never.
Ever. And it's quite funny, this bit, because Ellen finds it, doesn't she?
Yes.
And says, is this where the gas goes? And he's trying to make it all cool, isn't he, Clark? But before this, he's ripped the number plate off, hasn't he?
Yes. And he didn't intend to do that. That was genuine, that woman's reaction. He didn't, because it was quite close to her, wasn't it?
Yeah, it lands on the roof of their car, doesn't it? Because he whips it, doesn't it? That could have gone anywhere.
It could. Imagine if it would have hit her.
Yeah, and also what I noticed from this scene where Ellen's saying, is this where the gas goes? There's two lorries or trucks, they'd say in America, and there's one like with its tilted up. It always amazes me that with lorries and trucks, you tilt the cab up.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so that always makes me, I'm always fascinated by American trucks for some reason. I've mentioned before on this podcast. Don't know why. I just quite like them for some strange reason.
So anyway, now we're off to St. Louis, aren't we, in Missouri?
Yes.
And what does Clark say? It's the gateway to the West.
It is indeed. And doesn't he say it's something like 600 foot or something, or 61 floors for you and I?
Yes.
On that building. And
Rusty asks, can we go to the top? No. Just straight, no. But whilst he's singing again, they take a wrong turn, don't they? And now they look lost in this place.
Well, quite right, what Ellen does, like my wife does to me. She sits there telling me I've gone wrong in the car. I'm thinking, well, you could have said that before I was coming to turn. Don't turn there like women do. Nothing against the female species. They are very good. My wife is very good at directing me in a car and just sits there telling me what I've done wrong.
A bit like work, really.
Pretty much the same, yes. And then they're down in the hood, aren't they? Shall we call it?
Yes, and Clark's being a bit blasé, saying everything's okay until they hear gunshots. And then he
roll
says,
them up.
Roll
them up. Yeah, roll them up. And this is where he pulls over, isn't it? Asks for directions.
Yeah, now, can I just get something in here? I'm not sure how I feel about this scene now. I used to think it was funny because we're all laughing at the situation Clark's in. But Clark's not very streetwise, and they're taking advantage of him. And I think it's a bit stereotypical towards black people, if I'll be honest. I don't want to get too political into it, but I cringe a little bit now, whereas I used to laugh. Is that wrong? Is that...
No, I think you're right. I think we've touched on this before, like how times have changed and films are dated.
Yes.
To their views. And I get where you're coming from, because straight away, stereotypical, he pulls up, asks for directions. They say they want paying. So he's like, I've got to pay for directions. And he gives him 10, doesn't he? He says it's 5, gives him 10. What does Clark say? Keep the change. And then while this is going on, all his mates are stealing the hubcaps off the car.
Yes.
So,
But why did they all have to be black?
I don't know. Different times then.
We don't want to get too politically into it, but it's stereotypical, and thank God we've moved on from them times.
Exactly. No need for it nowadays, Darren. I totally agree with you. But it's like I say, I like the bit where he's giving him the directions and he's telling him, you'll see, is it his cousin or something?
Yeah.
You ask him, tell you I've said him because I don't know where you're going, and then walks off.
This is not my neighbourhood.
It's not my neighbourhood. I thought that was brilliant. And the bit I like from it is where they're nicking the hubcaps. And they're hunched down, aren't they, crawling past the car?
Yeah.
As all this is going on. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but, still little bits are quite humorous and some just not, to be fair.
So anyway, it's night time now, isn't it? And you know what? This bit does remind me, and there are numerous bits throughout the film, of Planes, Trains and Automobiles, the way the car is shot. And it's a similar looking car, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And obviously Clark and Ellen are reminiscing of when they were younger, aren't they?
Yes. And something happens with the gear stick. And shall we just leave it at that? Because it is a family show, isn't it, after all?
Of course, Darren, we don't want to go anywhere near that sort of risque speech. But the thing I took from this is the steering wheel. Because she lays on his lap, doesn't she? Head on his lap. He puts the steering wheel back down, and then he can't get it back up, can he?
No.
And then while this is going on, Audrey and Rusty are looking on, they thinking, what are you doing?
Correct.
Yeah.
But they have a little bit of an argument, don't they? And Ellen says they should pull over to a motel, but Clark says, no, I could go another 100 miles.
Well,
and
yes.
Then this absolutely wonderful bit.
I get the planes, trains bit from this bit, like you've just said. I see that in this bit.
And then we see this quiet scene with this brilliant music that's just very sleepy and tranquil. And Audrey and Russ are sound asleep on the back seat. Ellen's asleep on the front. And Clark is absolutely flat out, head back, mouth open, snoring away. And he's supposed to be driving.
Yeah, he's gone
so
completely.
funny.
But the thing I take from this is quite good. The car goes perfectly straight.
Yeah,
You
it veers
notice
off the road, doesn't it?
It veers with the road, but it doesn't veer into the side. The bit I like is where it comes to that intersection, isn't it, in America? Nearly runs somebody over.
Yep.
Nearly causes a crash. Straight past, is it the diner? At this point, he's got his hand on the wheel, hasn't he? And it's straight through.
Yeah.
Still not hitting anything.
Does he nearly hit a man with a dog?
Yeah, how he picks that dog up.
I know, I think animal lovers wouldn't like that.
No, even I last night sat there and went, oh, wow, that you can't pick a dog up like that. Then I like the bit where Ellen says, Sparky, that must be his little pet name, isn't it?
Yep.
Turn the TV off, Sparky. And then he wakes up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then it's his face.
Yeah. He freaks out, slams the brakes on, it spins round and arrives at a motel. And what does he say? Right, up and at 'em.
Up and at 'em. All the cases come flying off, don't they? A few cases are off. And then they were there. And they're in I like these little motels that they seem to go to. They always seem to be quite dingy, don't they?
Yeah, again reminded me of Planes, Trains and Automobiles.
Yeah, again, yeah. And then we get Clark. A bit psycho-esque here, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit Norman Bates.
Yes, as he's going into the bathroom.
Now, did you know, or so it's been said, whether it's true or not, that Anthony Michael Hall tried to sneak in onto the set to have a look at Beverly D'Angelo, and he was escorted straight back to where he came from.
Quite right. And also, did you know that it was Beverly D'Angelo that wanted to do the topless scene?
Oh,
She said it would have more of a husband-wife feel to it if she was naked in the shower and he was talking to her.
Ah, more realistic.
So, yes, more realistic. That's the word. Thank you, Dan. Yeah. So she lobbied for her to be naked. Well, top half naked in the shower.
Very good.
Yeah. And then we go, I like this bit on the bed. Not that anything happens on the bed. That when he puts his 25 cents into the meter, what happens with the bed?
It starts to vibrate, just like planes,
trains. I was just about to say exactly the same. He took the words out of my mouth. Just like planes, trains. So then they give up with the bed and they're on the floor. I like this next bit.
Just before they give up with the bed, did you know that there were 2 or 3 other cast and crew members underneath the bed moving him?
Oh,
that's how they're going to vibrate.
Vibrate. Ah, okay. No, I didn't know that, but yeah. Because it's quite going for it, isn't it, to be fair?
It is. Yes.
It is. And I like when he's talking to him, his voice is vibrating as he's talking. Yeah. And then he gets on the floor, gets under the covers, and Audrey and Rusty walk in. And I like how he pops up out of the covers and he's obviously got her underwear on his finger.
Yeah, trying to act all deadly.
All deadly. Yeah, go back to bed. I like how Russ just walks up and unplugs the bed.
Yeah, as if you. It's obvious. The obvious thing to do is just go and unplug it, but they've left it still going.
Yeah, it's still bouncing away. Yeah, this is just like saying this is just the klutz that Clark is.
Yes. So the next day, we're in Kansas, aren't we? We're in Dodge City.
Dodge City, Kansas, yes.
Now, to me, Rusty and Audrey sound a bit ungrateful to be there. I'd be mesmerised if I went there.
It is pretty cool looking, when you go. It's like a proper old Western, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Brilliant. And I like this bit where he goes into the bar.
Do you know what the bar's called?
Oh, go on. What is it?
It's called the Long Branch.
The Long Branch. No, never picked up on that, Darren. You're getting better at this than me nowadays, you are.
Oh, well, it's competition, Simon. It's competition.
Well, this is it. I like to keep you on your toes. So, like you say, they go in, and doesn't he say it's a sheriff? But he's not a sheriff. He's what is he, Darren?
He's a marshal.
A marshal, yes. And they've all got the hats on, haven't they? Clark and Rusty. Yeah, and it's people sat down with Indian headgear on, isn't there, and all stuff like that. And I like the bit where he's shouting to the barkeep.
Oh, he says, "Hey, knucklehead, set us up with 4 red eyes, will you?"
4 red eyes, that's it. I was going to ask you if you knew what the drinks were.
Hey, Yellow Belly, I'm talking to you.
And when he pops, he's looking at him, isn't he? He must be changing the bar. He's doing something, isn't he, under the counter. And he pops up with a shotgun and shoots him.
Yeah, because he said, "Hey, tenderfoot, move your chicken wings."
That were it. Boom. And like how he pops back up, I'm okay. And then doesn't he say, Audrey's deaf or something?
Yes, because she's kind of, what? Hey, the gunshot's kind of temporarily deafened her.
It is. It's right next to her ear, isn't it? She's the closest one to it. And doesn't Ellen say, "You happy now?" She's deaf.
So they quickly get back in the car, don't they? And they're debating where to visit next. And Clark wants to visit the House of Mud, doesn't he?
He does, yes. He wants to go there, but they're not having it. She's not having it.
Ellen wants to carry on because where are they going?
They're going to good old Eddie and what's his wife's called? Catherine. But did you notice just as they're in the car and he's saying where he's wanting to go, he's got a magnifying glass looking at the map as he's driving.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that. I thought that quite a bit after. I thought, did he have a magnifying glass?
Yeah, magnifying glass.
While he's trying to watch the road. This is before sat-nav, listeners.
Yeah, and also in America, they just have big, long, straight roads, don't they?
Yes.
Whereas in the UK, I've got windy country roads. You never get away with it here.
No.
They can get away with it. And how quiet, I took from it, how quiet the roads are where they're travelling.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, really.
The cars, you look and it pans and you see Clark and Ellen and Rusty and, what's the daughter called? Audrey. There's never any real cars behind them.
No, but as the kids are getting a little bit bored, suddenly he sees in his rear view mirror, what does he see?
Is it a red Ferrari?
It certainly is.
And it's Christine Blakely driving the red Ferrari.
Christy Brinkley.
You have to edit that out. So what did I say, Christine Blakely? Where did I get that from? God, yes, you're right, sorry. The Uptown Girl.
Yes, who was, I don't know whether she still is married to Billy Joel, but she was married to him.
No, I don't know if she is. And the bit of trivia I like about this, because in one of the other ones, which one is it? She reprises this role, doesn't she? Is it European Vacation?
Oh, I think so, yes.
And it's a few years later, and she's in another Ferrari, but she's got a baby in the back seat.
Yes.
Yes, I like that. I like that little attention to detail, but she's cruising along in this very nice Ferrari, and Clark's trying to keep up, isn't he?
Yes.
Trying to look all smooth.
And he does it at first, but then she zooms off, and then this fantastic aerial shot of him putting his foot down, he's going over 75 miles an hour. No way should he be doing that in that truck.
And what does Ellen say to him? Going too fast, slow down. But do you remember the license plate for the Ferrari?
I did notice, and it was Love Me.
Love Me. I always look at daft things like that for some reason. Yes, Love Me. Like I say, then she tells him to slow down. And this is where we go to, is it Coolidge, Kansas?
Yeah, Coolidge, Kansas, to me, Ellen's cousin, Eddie and Catherine.
Yes.
And they all come out to greet the Griswolds, don't they?
Yeah, it's like an event for them, isn't it? Someone's coming to visit.
Yeah, like should I say, the much richer Griswolds, because these people have got nothing. Well, they live on a farm, but they look like they've got nothing.
Yeah, well, they kind of allude to it, don't they? If it wasn't for Aunt Edna's social security check coming every month, they wouldn't have a great deal of money. Let's put it that way.
No, and that's where we meet Vicky and Dale, who are the two children, aren't they?
Yeah, and I like how he's going down the list of names of kids. And Clark speaks to I can't think what the little girl's called.
It's Daisy Mabel. Yeah.
Daisy Mabel, well done, Darren. And he says she can't speak because she hasn't got a tongue.
Yes, but she can eat like a horse and whistle like something.
Yeah. What comes out of Eddie's mouth is genius. He's just like your typical slob, isn't he, Eddie?
And did you know that Daisy Mabel was actually Harold Ramis's daughter?
No, I didn't know that one either. I'm going to have to up my game next week, Darren.
I've
got up my game next week. I'm losing it. But I like, the interaction with Clark and Eddie, and he calls it the homestead, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I like the homestead. I like this bit where he puts the beer on the bonnet and he says to Clark, doesn't he, do you fancy a cold one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the one he's been drinking out of, he gives him that one.
He's dangling that full one, isn't he?
Yeah.
And everybody thinks he's going to give him that one.
No, he gives him the one he's been drinking out of. I'm like, and then he drinks it, doesn't he? He takes a sip.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, mate, I won't be doing that. No, definitely not.
But they've gone to see, Rusty's gone to Dale to see his worm farm, hasn't he?
Yes, a worm farm.
But at the same time, you've got Vicky and Audrey. And this, again, it's a bit strange when they're on the seesaw and Vicky tells Audrey that she French kisses. And what does Audrey say? Well, everybody does. But Audrey says, yeah, but Dad said I'm the best.
Yeah, that's a bit... I thought that, exactly what you saying. As soon as she says, Daddy says I'm the best. I'm like, what?
I've got my gob open.
Yeah. I'm like, wowzers. Because now it would be censored. These would be taken out, wouldn't they, now, if we're watching it?
Yes. It
now.
wouldn't be funny.
No, it's not funny. And then, obviously, as it progresses, Dale and Rusty are upstairs looking at nudie magazines, aren't they?
Well, just before that, sorry, just before that, Rusty's asking Dale, have you got Pac-Man? Space Invaders? Asteroids? Because it's common to him. When he says asteroids, no, my dad can't get off the toilet.
Oh, brilliant. That line, yeah, I was laughing at that last night. No, my dad, yeah, he can't get off the toilet. But then also what he just talked about, which we won't go into much detail here, what Dale says to Rusty's a bit like, what? Some bloke taught him something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with this, but I won't say it. But
yes.
I'm like, hang on. What?
But he's got the hand grips at the same time.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going on here?
Now, there were a contradiction in this, because downstairs, Rusty's asking him if he's got Pac-Man, Space Invaders or Asteroids. Yeah. And he says no to everything. Yet when Rusty's on his bed, there's a Pac-Man machine right at his shoulder.
That's Rusty's Pac-Man machine.
Is it?
Yeah, because if you look in the car as they're driving, certain shots near the start, that's behind him. Oh. I've picked up on that because I keep thinking, I might have to try and get one of them. I remember having one of those.
I remember in school, back in the 80s, when it was the last day of school and you were allowed to bring your toys in.
Yes, we did that.
There was a couple of lads that had them kind of machines. And I remember one was called Astro Wars.
Yes, it was,
and we were all queuing up to actually use that because it was fantastic. I mean, I brought in a draft set with missing pieces. Nobody wanted to play with that, including me. I just wanted what he got because it were brilliant.
We did the same because, like I say, the last day of term before, I think it was more 6 weeks holidays and things like that, wasn't it? They'd let you do this. You could all, like say, bring a game in, bring something in. And everyone used to bring those in. And then we'd watch a movie in the afternoon. How times have changed at schools, Darren.
Oh, yeah, now they have proms and things like that.
God, yeah, it's getting out of hand nowadays, isn't it, at school? But simplicity of things, Darren, like we've touched on before, the simple things are what was good back then.
I was absolutely amazed when somebody brought that Astro Wars in. I thought it was unbelievable.
Yeah, they are good. Like, there's a few of them, like say, you get Pac-Man, Asteroids. And like we've just touched on, I've seen that now. Now I want one for my man cave. I've got to stop watching these things, Darren. It's getting out of hand. It's costing me a fortune. And then the next scene, like we said, then we're in the kitchen, aren't we? And and Catherine are talking.
Yeah.
And is this the bit where she says that Edna's going to go with them?
No, not quite. This is
Not
the bit
quite.
what you said earlier when you said they wouldn't be able to cope if it wasn't for Edna's social security.
Security check, that's it. And then we pan back outside, don't we, after this bit?
And it's barbecue time. And who's at the barbecue?
Eddie. But what is Vicky doing to that Kool-Aid?
Oh, she's got her arm up to her
Arm in
elbow.
it, like stirring it. And what does he say to her?
Can I help you with that?
Can I help you with that? And you're looking, thinking, she's just had her arm in that. And then Eddie's at the barbecue and he's cooking, and Clark's got, is it the tomato sauce?
Yeah, real tomato sauce, Eddie. Nothing but the best.
Yeah, and then doesn't he get his food? Oh no, we see Edna first, don't we? And this is where they shout Edna food. And he looks, doesn't he? Goes, "You're Aunt Edna?" And then out she comes.
And his face drops, doesn't it?
Oh, it's genius. When she comes out with that walker, and she's walking with the walker, and she goes to greet her, obviously, doesn't she? She just throws it to one side and goes down. And she's there then, isn't she? Some of the lines she comes out with are brilliant.
Oh, she insults Clark about the fruitcake. That made her so sick.
Yeah, she just sits down and then she's at him, isn't she? It's how she looks at him at first that does me.
Oh, but she's old school. She's hard as nails. You know she is. You know she's going to be trouble. It's her who then says, "Have you told Clark and Ellen the good news?"
This is it. Yes, you're right. Yeah, she's taking him back to, where's he taking him back to?
To Phoenix.
Phoenix, that's
She blurts it out, doesn't she? She says, "You're driving me to Phoenix." And the timing with Clark and that burger, and he goes everywhere.
Oh, yeah, he just drops everything out the bottom of it, doesn't he? Perfect. But we got back to the point where he's had some, they've got no meat, have they, for these?
No, they haven't.
I don't know what they're eating, but I don't know what it is. And like I say, how he drops it down, and you're like, wowzers. And then we're back in the room, aren't we, with Vicky and Audrey?
Yes.
And again, hasn't she got a list of boys or something she's writing? Is it that? What's she got? No, that's it. Sorry, she's got a trophy for rearing a pig, hasn't she?
Yeah, and Audrey tells her it's not that cool, and she says, "Oh, well, how cool is this?"
That's it.
Has she got a box full of drugs or something?
Yes, it's like, I'm not up on the drug world by any means, cannabis or something like that. And then they're doing that, and then we're down in the front room with Eddie and Clark.
This is so awkward. This is so awkward. But Edna kills it, doesn't she?
Oh, just ask him. Stop being polite.
Just ask him for money. Sure as hell can't take it.
And and then he gets his wallet out, doesn't he? And he's pulling out some money. And he says, "How much do you need?" And do you remember the figure he gives him?
$52,000.
$52,000. I thought when he said it, 52 grand. He's like,
the way he puts his money back in the wallet.
Yeah. He just stuffs it back, doesn't he? As if to say, that's nowhere near that then.
And do you know what? I had a little check, and $52,000, if he changed it to today's money, it'd be over $165,000 he's asking for.
Yeah, that's a lot of money, isn't it? And then we're loading the car again, aren't we, to go again?
Oh, yeah. Is it the next morning or is it just after?
The next morning, isn't it? And I like this bit because what does Eddie give Clark?
These really snazzy white shoes.
Slip-on white shoes, Dan.
Yes.
Slip-on snazzy white shoes. And Clark's face is just like... And what does he say? I noticed the way he was looking at him. Yeah. So I gave them to you. I'm like, whoa.
But it's Edna who shouts from the car, "I told you wouldn't like him," and Clark just slams the door in her face.
She's brilliant, Edna is. And then they're just about to go, aren't they? And then who turns up?
Oh, Dinky the dog.
Dinky the dog. And Dinky the dog's quite a violent thing, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness. And can I just say that one thing I did notice? Clark and Rusty are wearing Lacoste T-shirts.
They are, yes.
And they do throughout this. Now, I don't know whether they were a big brand in them days, but they're about £90 a T-shirt nowadays.
Yeah, I'd imagine they would have been, because Clark, like you say, he's got nice... I look at this, he's got nice Converse trainers on, and he's got nice jeans, and like I say, nice Lacoste T-shirts. So, and then this is the bit we see Audrey and Vicky. What does Vicky give Audrey?
Well, something she shouldn't do, but
exactly.
We laughed about it in the 80s and thought, oh, well done.
Yeah, and then they're off again, aren't they?
Yes, and you know the dog Dinky? after the film was finished, Chevy Chase adopted that dog.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's nice of him. Why? Was it like a rescue or something?
I don't know. That's all I read, that after the film he adopted the dog and took it home with him.
Brilliant. And then the next bit, we're at like a little park, aren't we? Where they're having sandwiches.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
But the setting of this is beautiful.
It is, isn't it?
Wherever they are, they're just like in this little mountain valley and everything. It's beautiful. And I like how Clark says to Rusty, "Stop playing with the dog, Russ." And the dog's like mauling his ankle, isn't he? He's trying to tie it to the tree. Yeah. And then you just see them all sat there. And what does Clark, is it bologna and cheese?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And Edna's there tucking in.
And who appears?
Oh, it's the lady in the red Ferrari. We don't know her name, do we? She hasn't got a name. We don't know her name.
No, we don't know.
So we'll just call her Ferrari lady.
Yes.
Ferrari lady turns up.
She's got this music blasting out, and it looks like two truckers are looking at a car. And Clark notices and goes for a closer look, doesn't he?
He does, but one of the truckers is actually sat in the car.
Is he really? Ah.
Yeah, there's someone sat in the driver's seat, so she must be letting them sit in a Ferrari. Clark's doing that little dance, isn't he?
Oh, and then he uses the sandwich, patting it on his chin, which
God.
Chevy Chase totally made up on the spot.
Did he?
On that bit, yeah.
It's the move. That's how I dance in a nightclub like Chevy. That's about my night. But what I took from this is she's drinking beer.
Yes, she is. Yeah, you're right.
She's having a beer, and she's going to get in a Ferrari and zoom down the highway.
Yeah, I'm sure that can't have been legal in those days.
Definitely not. And then Rusty comes out with the line. What does Rusty come out with?
That his sandwich is all wet.
It says they're all wet. And then she sniffs it, doesn't she? Yeah. And there's, oh no, the dog's weed all over the sandwiches. And I like Edna at this point. She looks, thinks, no, I'll be fine. Just carries on eating.
Yeah, shrugs her shoulders. Because she's hard as nails. She's old school.
She definitely is. She's brilliant.
And then we're back on the road again. And some of these wonderful aerial shots.
I was just about to say the same. Another scenic shot that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There's no need to do these shots, but they do them for a reason, and it's just brilliant.
It sets the scene to me.
It does.
It sets the next scene coming up because they go to that little camp place, don't they?
Camp Comfort.
That's it. You beat me to it.
Sorry.
Camp Comfort. I'm going to have to up my game. I've got to get it in first nowadays. I've got to be quick with you now, Darren. I tell you.
We've swapped roles.
And it's South Fork, isn't it? Colorado. I'll get that in first before you do. It's at South Fork, Colorado. And then they're there, aren't they? Oh, great, it's got a pool. So they think it's great because they think it's got a swimming pool.
Yes, and Rusty, Clark tells Rusty to walk the dog, and Rusty says, "Bet he bites, Dad." Well, bite him back.
Yeah, I thought that line was brilliant. Bite him back. And then they go in and they see the man behind the car. I thought he was quite amusing, this man. Yeah, eating his watermelon.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, he's saying, "What do you want the address for?" So we can send you a mailing list or something into some
send me a
brochure.
flyer.
Yeah, it's how he's just eating and spitting. Do you know who he reminded me of? And I've mentioned him earlier. Who he reminded me of?
Go on.
Bill Murray. He reminded me of Bill Murray. How he was acting, how he was talking.
Yes, I see it now. Yes, especially how he talks.
How he talks, his mannerisms.
Yeah.
I instantly thought, that's like Bill Murray. And he's got his hat on, Auntie, and he's there filling everything out. And then I like this next scene where they go to the first, because they're like little tent kind of cabin things, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They're not like a tent as a traditional tent.
No, it's like a hut with a tent top, isn't it? And
That's
then
the one.
she opens they go see the swimming pool first, and it's filthy with is it swans that are on it?
I think they were swans.
Swans and cans, and they open the door, and it smells. And what does she say? Edna, this one's yours.
Yeah. And then we get to bedtime, don't we? And Clark and Ellen are trying to squeeze into one sleeping bag. And anybody who's tried to do this, it just doesn't work at all.
No.
And Clark's a big fella laying on top of her. So she did well to whack that bit.
Yeah, because at one point she's like motioning she's being crushed, isn't she, as she's talking?
Yes.
And then he's trying to get all romantic with her, shall we say.
And
there's a wild animal in there, does he say? It's a wild animal. Oh, no, it's Dinky.
And he starts biting the bottom of sleeping.
Yeah, and he's kicking it. He's booting it. Yeah. And the dog, to me, I thought the dog was quite comical. How you couldn't go near it. It's just vicious.
How do you get a dog to act like that? How do you get it to do things like that? It's really good.
It is. It's fantastic.
But the next morning, they're all packed up and ready to go again.
Yes, to hit the highways again.
And Dinky again starts biting Clark's leg. So he has to tie the dog to the bumper while he puts all the cases away, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just hooks him on there for a split second while he gets everything in. And then Rusty and Audrey are arguing who's sitting next to Edna.
Yes.
And then doesn't he say, I'll tell her, Mum, what's in your bag?
Yes. Yes, he does, yeah.
Then he gets him in, doesn't he, Clark? He just throws him in and we're off again. And then they're on the highway, and I like this bit. Can you hear that rattling noise?
Yes, he does say that, doesn't he? Yes.
He says, can you hear that noise? It's been bothering me for miles ever since we left. I can hear this thing. And then they say, obviously, a policeman's behind on his motorbike. I like Audrey here because Audrey says to Edna, hold my bag. Why, hold my bag? Because obviously it's got drugs in it, hasn't it?
Yes. And she kind of cowers down, doesn't she?
Yeah, and I like the policeman in this scene. He tells him to get out, doesn't he?
But how intimidating does that policeman look when he gets off that bike and he's walking towards?
Yeah.
Even if he wasn't a policeman, he'd look intimidating.
Definitely, but we just touched on this was all ad-libbed when he gets out.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, this was all ad-libbed between the two, the interaction. And like I said earlier, they were laughing so hard. If you look at him when Clark walks back to the car, like I say, you think he's great. He's not. He's trying to stop laughing.
I'll have to look at that again.
Look at it, but it's the realisation when he realises there was a dog tied to the bumper. Clark. There's no real emotion in Clark, is there?
Not really, no.
To what he's done.
But he just wants to get to Wally World, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I like this bit where he gets back in the car, trying to be all quiet, and they try and cover it up. But everybody's heard, haven't they?
Yes.
Pretty much.
But he comes back, doesn't he, the police officer, and says,
oh, yeah.
There's your lead, sir. I'll get the rest of the carcass off the road.
Yeah.
And Edna cottons on.
That's it. And then she's screaming, does she shout Dinky or something?
It's something.
I can't remember what she shouts. Yeah, so you're like, he completely forgot the dog. And what does the policeman say? He probably tried to keep up for a mile or so, his little feet.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up. And don't get me wrong, that is horrific what he's done. It is.
But we're still laughing about it.
Yeah, but because we know it's not real.
Exactly.
This is the thing. We know this isn't real. So it's just stupid how we forgot. And then we're at like a little diner. Now, I've always wanted to go to one of these diners.
Yes.
You know, where they bring your food out and they hook it on your window.
These seem to be in evidence since like the 50s in America, haven't they?
Yeah, and because some of them have roller skates, don't they? Bring them out on roller skates.
Yeah.
In America. I've always wanted to go to one of these. And what does he say to her? Don't put it on their new car.
Yes, I'll take it from here. Don't put it on there. It just shatters.
The window just goes, and then it's empty. Waitress.
I like when they first pulled in. I like Edna's line. Is this your idea of a good restaurant?
Yeah.
Dog killer.
Yeah, she's there all the time digging at him, isn't she?
Yes.
She's just jabbing at him all the time. And it's like you say, it's just genius. And then they're off again. It's like you say, it's the shots again. Pans out and you see the truckster zipping down the highway. And then what do we see again?
Well, everybody's asleep.
Yes.
And again, in the rearview mirror, along comes the Ferrari girl. And what's Clark doing with his hair? He thinks he's doing it better, but he looks a mess.
It looks horrific because obviously he's thinning a little on top and he's brushed it forward, hasn't he?
And he gives her a wink, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And he's trying to look all cool, isn't he, in his station wagon.
But when he looks across and he sees himself in the car and he's smoking, and it's brilliant.
It is. He's got his arm round her, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's got his arm round her and he's trying to be all suave and cool.
But he's on the wrong side of the road doing this. And then he realised that there's a truck coming straight for him.
Yeah. And then he swerves and he's all over the road. And I like this next bit, how he's wet through. And then obviously Ellen wakes up, doesn't she?
What's happened to your hair?
Yeah. Why are you sweating? Nothing. And to be fair, Ellen is quite a decent wife for Clark, isn't she?
She certainly is, yeah.
You know, what she has to put up with. And she's quite laid back about most things. Isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She's good in this. She hasn't got any fantastic lines, but she's just there all the time. The calming kind of normal person in all this.
Well, definitely, like we've said before, the cast just seems to fit perfect.
It does. And anyway, they drive off with Clark saying, the worst is behind us. And he goes over this kind of ramp thing and 2 cases fall off straight away.
Yeah, that's quite comical, yeah. I think the worst is behind us now. And it's the cases, which you don't want to drop off, the cases with the money, isn't it?
Yes, because are they somewhere in Arizona now?
Yes.
And Clark wants to see the Grand Canyon, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
But he doesn't realise that he's drove down a road closed.
Yeah, he goes down, because doesn't she say before, like, say, we'll get some money wired to us, and he's there driving. And doesn't Audrey say, back there, it said road closed, and he comes out of the line, if it said road closed, Audrey, there'd be big signs like that one.
Yes,
and then he's
it.
Straight through it, isn't he? Now, a little bit of trivia for you. When they launched the family truckster, they had a little bit of a bet, the stunt team, when they launched it, that they couldn't make it go 50, is it 50 yards or 50 yards? One or the other.
One or the other.
I think they say yards on this, so we'll go with yards, because Rusty comes out, must have been 50 yards, Dad. So they had a bet that they couldn't launch it 50 yards, and they just made 50 yards launching it. That's why it's in the script. That's why Rusty says it. And then they're all sat there, aren't they? Airbag's gone off, Rusty's in the front, Audrey's in the front.
Yeah, the cases have gone everywhere.
Cases everywhere. The car's obliterated, isn't it?
Yeah, and Clark, does he get on the roof and has a little look around?
He does. He surveys where he is.
Yes, and they're all gathering the belongings up now, aren't they? And Edna has a bit of a rant, and Ellen puts her right in a place, doesn't she?
Oh, she tells you she's going to punch her in the face, didn't she? Or knock her lights out or something.
Now, did you know that Aunt Edna, her real name is Imogen Coker, and she didn't want to play the part originally because she didn't think she could play a mean person. And at the end of most takes, she'd frequently apologise to the cast because she didn't want them to take it personally that they were being she were being so mean.
Because she's quite mean, and something else. She didn't really want to do this role because she didn't want to be in a car on the highway. Do you know why?
Oh, right. No, I didn't know that.
Because a few years before, she was involved in quite a bad car accident and she lost the sight in her left eye.
Blimey.
So she got really anxious of being in cars, which quite rightly you would do.
Of course.
So she was turned the role down, but I think Harold Ramis or John Hughes wanted her for the role, and they got her to do it. So the driving scenes with Chevy Chase, most of them, they're being towed on a trailer.
Well, I never. Really?
And that's why, yeah, because she didn't feel comfortable being in the car. And also then, Chevy Chase didn't have to concentrate on the road, but the red Ferrari girl, she actually drove the Ferrari properly.
Well done. And can you say, Aunt Edna, she plays it brilliantly, doesn't she?
Fantastic. She's a really good character in this.
She is.
Really good, yeah. And then we see Clark and Rusty going for a man-to-man, don't we?
Oh, against this unbelievable backdrop.
Oh, fantastic. Again, Darren, I'd love to be sat there. Definitely would.
But not in that heat.
Not in that heat. But this is where they share a beer.
Yes.
And I like this bit because Clark has a sip, gives it to Rusty, and Rusty downs it, doesn't he? Absolutely goes for it.
And it just shows you how much Rusty's growing up, and Clark doesn't know it. He still thinks they're the babies.
Well, you'll know this better than me because your son's in his 20s, isn't he?
Yes.
I bet you'll know probably the age. What would you say age Rusty is? 12, 13, probably?
I'd say just probably on board of being a teenager.
Yeah, say 13, 14. I bet that time from there to where his son is now, I bet that's flown by.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I bet it is. And like Clark says, and I get, we all do it, you try and cherish these moments with them, don't you, your kids? I do. I try and do everything with them. Anything they're doing at school, I'm trying to be there because I know there's going to come a point where they won't want me there.
Yes, that's definitely true. That's happened with me.
Yeah, and this is the bit, and I say to my wife, Carrie, I try and do as much as I can with them, because I know at one point I'm not going to be a cool dad. They won't want me anywhere near them, which is quite heartbreaking, really, isn't it? Because, you know,
Yes.
me and my son, we're like best mates. We are, and it'll break my heart, that bit, to be honest.
Well, it might not happen.
It may not. I'm waffling, Darren. I'm getting all sentimental.
Well, that's
So,
good.
that's
no more
good.
than I ever do.
Yeah, so let's get back to the good old vacation.
So now Clark says he's heading off, isn't he? There's got to be a phone or a gas station around here somewhere.
Brilliant.
And he starts off running, doesn't he? Over the hill to Grandmother's house we go.
He's singing, isn't he, as he's running? And you're slowly seeing him descend into madness, aren't you? As he's going into the desert.
He's got his trousers over his head and his shirt, and then he falls down and sees a skeleton, doesn't he? Which just adds to his dilemma. But finally, he makes it to the gas station, doesn't he?
And like good old comedy fashion, the family's got there well before Clark.
They have. I think it were a couple of Indians that we did see on the film that kind of rescued Ellen and the kids.
But also, just touching back, like you say, the Indians, the scenic shots of where they are.
My goodness.
Fantastic, Darren. And like I say, he makes it finally to the truck stop, and they're all back together.
The car is finally being fixed, and two mechanics from hell, aren't they?
You're going to find them here, aren't you? You're bound to.
Oh, really? We all have that kind of anxiety about taking your car anywhere because you know it's going to cost. But they usually give you a price, not how much you got.
Yeah, exactly. And when he drives off, how much was it? How much does he pay?
$500.
That was it.
$500 for two ball tyres and a two.
That was it. And then when he's driving, the wheels are just wobbling.
The wonkiest wheels you've ever seen.
And this is the first bit we actually see Ellen driving.
Yeah, she is, isn't she?
She's driving, yeah. And I'm like, I don't remember her driving.
No,
obviously she does.
Unless she's lost confidence in Clark and says, right, that's it from now on. I'm driving.
I get where she's coming from because he's an absolute bumbling idiot, isn't he?
But he does need some money because it's cost him $500. So he tells Rusty to go through Edna's purse. It's wrong.
It is wrong, but he's at the edge now, isn't he, where he needs money? Because didn't he give Eddie $500?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he did. He gave Eddie. So that's $1,000 he's just paid out. And $1,000 back then, probably quite a lot of money.
Definitely. But they arrive at this hotel, don't they? And the manager won't accept a cheque because I think Clark's credit card's been reported lost or something like that.
Yeah, because didn't he say he cancelled the credit cards?
That's the one, yeah.
He said he cancelled them. But I don't get that bit because he said he'd still got his.
Yeah,
didn't he? He said, I've cancelled cards, but I've still got mine. But I don't know how that works. But like you say, he won't do the cheque, will he? And then what does Clark do?
Well, he wants $300, but he won't, will he, the manager?
No.
And he says, look, I'll make this cheque out for $1,000. All you have to do is put it in the till, give me $300, which is a really generous offer. But the manager still says, no, don't he? You'll have to stay 14 working days or something. And Clark, like in temper, he bangs on the counter, doesn't he?
Yes, he's not having that, is he? And then he ends up writing him the cheque anyway, taking the money out of the register and putting the cheque in the register, doesn't he?
Now, there's a slight pause there, isn't there?
Yeah.
When the till drawer opens and he kind of looks and everybody's thinking the same, aren't they? Just take the money. For years, I never realised he put the cheque in. I thought he just took the money.
No, he does the right thing. Well, he does the wrong thing, but he also puts the cheque in. So, but then I like this next scene because they're looking down the Grand Canyon, aren't they?
Yeah, oh, blimey, yes.
And again, fantastic. And they're wanting to take it in. He comes running up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Clark, you need to look at, beautiful. Has one quick look at it, turns and runs.
And it's the way he bobs his head up and down.
Yeah, brilliant. And then we're back in the truckster again, aren't we?
Yes. And does he tell Rusty to open some sandwiches from a gas station? I'm so hungry I could eat a sandwich from a gas station.
Yeah, he does. And then this is the bit with Edna.
Yeah, because they're pushing her.
Pushing her from one to another, aren't they? One to another. And she says, leave her sleep. Let her sleep till Phoenix, doesn't he say?
Yes.
And then he says she'll be all right, and then Ellen checks on her, doesn't she? And said, she's not all right, Clark, she's dead. And then the car veers off the road, doesn't it? Again, the cases are off again.
Yeah, and that funny noise that Clark makes when he gets there, he goes,
yeah, he's dancing into you like, oh God, don't want to be anywhere near it. And the kids are like, I'm not getting back in there. There's a dead person in the back. And then they're having to decide, aren't they, what to do? And doesn't he say just kick her out and leave her?
Yeah.
For a cousin to find.
You phone your cousin Normie up and he'll come and pick her up.
And then Rusty says, doesn't he? They'll know where she is because of the buzzards.
Yeah.
You can't leave her there. But again, scenery, fantastic, where they're stood.
I thought it were only me that takes these things.
No, I love bits like that, Darren. I love anything like that.
Yeah, they're great.
And then, what do they do with Edna?
They put Edna, they make a seat for her, don't they? Cover her over with a blanket and tie her down. But did you notice a little bag? It's also on her lap. It
was, yeah. It's up there, isn't it? And then, but supposedly, what they was wanting to do with this scene, but they didn't, and I don't know if this would have worked or not. When she sat up there, they wanted her hands visible, and they wanted her hands to move.
Right.
So you didn't know if she was dead or if she was alive, which I think, that might have been quite amusing. But, but then you've got her sat on the roof, having you tied down.
Oh, and when they finally reach the house and it's absolutely pouring down with rain.
Yes. And nobody answers, do they?
Yeah, because Cousin Normie's not at home.
Yeah. So, also, what you've touched on, I noticed this as well. Ellen and Clark, they've both got Lacoste waterproof jackets on.
Yeah, and they look cool.
Yeah. They wear some cool stuff these days, because if you notice before, Clark and Ellen had matching jeans on at one point.
Did they?
Yeah, if you look at them, when they both go in the gas station and just a bit past that, they both got matching jeans on. Because when they turn around, the pockets are the same, with the same symbol on the back.
Never noticed.
You see, I pick all this up now.
Would you wear the same jeans as your wife now?
Oh, God, no. Would I? Heck, no.
You just wouldn't, would you?
No. I'm getting to that age now where skinny jeans are a thing of the past for me. I'm really a middle-aged man. I'll be walking down there looking like a chicken. My legs, skin-tight jeans and a bit of a gut after all my biscuits of choice. You know what I mean? So no, I wouldn't. No. But then they take her around the back, don't they? And they just prop her up in the chair with an umbrella on her head.
Yeah, and Clark says a few words. And again, this is Chevy Chase totally improvising it. And it's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes, we've touched on this a bit before in films, when they improvise, it's better when they just come out with it, because
you never know how much they do it until you kind of look into it, do you?
Yeah, and you don't know what's going to come out of the mouth. For me, directing, I'd sooner do that because you think, let's see what he comes up with. Yeah. It might be better than what I've got written down. And if it isn't, right, do what I've written down.
But anyway, Ellen takes over, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Again, she's the kind of person that's the responsible one, and she says a few words before they leave.
Yeah.
But it's starting to take its toll now, isn't it, on the kids? And they've had it off and they want to go home.
Yeah,
and then
which kids do.
He screeches to a halt in the middle of the road and he has a right rant at everybody.
Yeah, because he's put all this, and you can see where he's coming from, because he's put all this effort in to get them to Wally World.
Yes.
He's just wanting this, and all the kids are saying now is, I just want to go home, which kids do. Correct. And it's just like, it must be like a slap in the face. All what I'm trying to do for you, and all you want to do is go home. We've all been there with his kids, haven't we? Try and do something nice.
Yeah, and
it doesn't
tire
work
easily, don't they?
Yeah, you've got this big grand thing in your mind. And sometimes it just doesn't work. But it is a monstrous trip that they're on, isn't it?
Oh, it's horrendous. But this bit, again, sorry to keep going back onto planes, trains, but it does remind me of the marathon rental woman when Steve Martin has a rant at her.
Yeah, it gets you to the breaking point, doesn't it?
It certainly got him.
It does. You've been away with your wife and your son. I've been the same. You're on each other's nerves at points, aren't you?
Yes.
And it only takes one silly little thing to tip it, and then you're arguing. And you don't go on holiday to argue, do you? Do enough of that at home.
Correct. And at work. And everywhere.
Well, Everywhere you go, there's an argument.
So anyway, they find a motel room, don't they? But Clark and Ellen, they're still arguing. Yeah, and Clark gets dressed, and what does he put on?
Oh, God damn, this looks so cool. To me, I'm sorry, it's so naff, but it looks so cool. He's got the white slip-ons, but he carries them well.
He does, doesn't he?
He does. I looked at it because it pans to his feet and then up to him. In America, they used to wear members-only jackets. That was the jacket he's got on.
Right.
And his jeans. And he just thinks he looks so cool as he walks into that bar, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sits next to a woman and then whatever he says, she says, beat it, creep.
Yeah. And then, but the thing is, who's in the bar?
Well, yes, after he sits in another chair.
Yes, and some bloke comes up to him with a Magnum Tash.
Yes.
Doesn't he? Yeah.
He sits on his own, doesn't he? And the Ferrari woman comes in. And just let me get this other one in. There's a man playing the piano in there. And at the time, that was Beverly D'Angelo's husband.
Was it really?
Yes.
Because wasn't she with Al Pacino at some point, have I read?
Oh, I don't know.
Probably, I could be wrong. Oh, that was her husband. Right, yes. Nice.
But anyway, the Ferrari woman turns up, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And Clark again goes into this crazy mode where he says he's not married and it's his brother's family. You know she doesn't believe him.
Yeah. Because he's trying to act all cool, isn't he? Trying to hit on her. Stupidly.
Yeah. And then they go outside, don't they?
Yeah.
And the Ferrari woman decides to take her clothes off and jump in the pool and asks Clark, are you going to join me?
Because all you see, don't you, just see a bra and underwear being thrown at him.
Yes.
And then she's in. And then Clark is thinking, isn't he? Shall I? Shan't I? And then he looks round, doesn't he? Think, now I'm in. I'm going for it.
And he absolutely screams, doesn't he? It's cold!
It's
and
freezing.
Wakes everybody up.
Yeah. And then, obviously, Ellen comes out, the kids. And doesn't he say, it's just some woman that was in the pool?
Yes. It's just feeble excuses that nobody is going to believe. And the next scene, for me, I absolutely love because it's arguably one of my best bits, and it's Anthony Michael Hall and his delivery. And when Clark's telling him, and he's saying, look, son, we do crazy things, and there was this woman, and she was a waitress, and she come and took my order, and he says, she took your order, and at the end of it, he says, you do understand, son, don't you? And Anthony Michael Hall says, yeah, do you think Mum will buy it? Good talk, son.
Yeah, he does. He's not daft. He knows, doesn't he, what's going on?
I love that delivery. I think it's brilliant. Clark's doing his best to try and show his son, and he doesn't realise that he's not young anymore. He does understand. And
he knows, he sees, doesn't he, what's going on?
And that line, do you think Mum will buy it?
Yeah. But then Clark goes in the room.
Creeping, yes.
But she gives in quite easily, doesn't she?
Yes.
And then what does she do?
She says, I can have fun too. And she goes out and does exactly the same thing.
Exactly. And then it's win-win for Clark again, isn't he? He's in again.
Yeah.
But this time, when he's in with his wife, he's kept his underwear on. When he went in with the stranger, he whipped it all off, didn't he?
Did he really?
Yeah. You see him because he's got blue box shorts on as he dives in. Yeah. So, and then it sets up for
the
grand finale now, aren't we? We're getting to the end of the mammoth road trip, the destination.
Yes. And can you remember seeing that sign that says Wally World, next 3 exits? And I'm getting excited.
Yeah. But would you not, right, when he turns in to Wally World, you go under this massive sign, and that sign is amazing.
Oh, it is.
It's really good. And then he's there and he drives in, and Clark's in tears, isn't he? He's crying as he's driving into this place. And what does he come up with? Oh, the car park's empty. Must be first ones here.
Oh,
you think, wouldn't you?
Yes. And I still do that to this day. And park near the exit. So when you're coming out, I learnt it from that because I remember thinking back in the 80s, what a smart idea.
Yeah, because you're at the back.
If I ever learn to drive, that's what I'm going to do.
But like you say, when they get there, it's very clever. But he's got a fair distance to go. But just the shot of Wally World with all these roller coasters.
You know what? To me, I don't know about you, It's terrifying. The size of them roller coasters is horrendous. There's no way you get me on them.
No, but Sam, I'm not a roller coaster fan by any means. I'm really not. But like I say, then he starts running, doesn't he?
Oh.
And he looks 80s because he's got shorts on. He's got slip-on shoes on as well, I noticed.
Them shorts are ridiculous.
They're short shorts, they are, aren't they? They're proper 80s dad shorts, shall we call them.
And he's running to the theme tune of Chariots of Fire.
He is. Arms out, head back.
He's doing it in time.
Yeah, he's big grin and then he's blowing, isn't he?
I love that bit.
Yeah,
he's flagging.
Blowing. And he looks at Rusty and Rusty speeds up and he thinks, I'm not having that. Not having that. And it's that face he gives him, isn't it, when he looks at him?
Yeah.
And then he's off and he's smiling and laughing again. Just so happy to be in that moment with his son going to Wally World.
And then they finally get there. And what do they see?
Closed for 2 weeks for cleaning.
Oh.
I like this bit where he presses the button and he starts to talk and he punches it on the nose.
Yeah, and that was Harold Ramis who did the voice to Marty Moose on that.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Oh, didn't know that one either. Got to do my homework next week, Darren.
And then Clark goes on a rant, doesn't he?
He does. He loses it, quite rightly so. You would. If you travelled that distance, you'd be like me. We'd all be the same. You would not be happy.
No. So what do? They get back in the car, go back into town to the sporting goods store. And I remember this, and I'm thinking, why are they going to a sporting goods store? I wouldn't think you could buy a gun. But in those days, they kind of called a chemist a drugstore. And I never understood that until I got a bit older.
Yeah, and also I took from it, like I say, he's gone to the sporting goods store, obviously, to buy the gun. How easy in America it must be to buy a gun.
Yes, that's quite scary, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, I know it's back in 83. The times may have changed slightly. But here in the UK, we can't just go to a store and buy a gun, can we?
I wouldn't know where to buy one from.
I wouldn't want one. You know what I mean? But, and then this is where he's totally flipped now, hasn't he?
Oh, I love the way they come back to the park and he's got this paper bag.
Yeah,
hiding
the gun. Yeah, hiding the gun. Has Ellen not said to him, what's in the bag?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's asked him about this bag on his hand. And then we see John Candy.
Yes, the security guard, don't we? Yes. Who tells him the park's closed?
He's not having that though, is he?
No chance. Absolutely no chance.
No. So he's looking like everyone does. They look at papers, don't they, to see if you're on the list. Everywhere you go, they rifle through the papers. Your name's not down. And then he pulls the gun out, still with the price tag.
Yeah.
Hanging off the gun. And it's how he puts his hands up that does me.
Yeah, and this is where you were right from earlier. This is where he said we drove 2,460 miles.
That's it. And he's saying we're going on the rise. Then his mate comes out and it makes him lie down on his back like a dog. And then it's how he says, stay.
Yeah, roll over.
Roll over. He's not going to stay, is he? And it's like they're on this little ride on motorbikes, aren't they? He's got the gun pointing at him and the security guard. And then doesn't... she says, doesn't she, his wife, she says, Ellen, that's it, so I can't think of her name for a minute. After this, your dad might be going away for a little bit.
Yeah. And Clark, all he wants to know is, where are the big rides? Where are the big ones?
The big ones? And that ride is big.
Oh, dear.
It's big. And then I think I found out through filming they had to keep going on these rides and they all got sick of them, didn't they? Because they made them feel quite ill because they had to keep going on them.
Yes. And originally... Chevy Chase and John Candy were supposed to ride in the front, but because they're two big fellas, they didn't fit. And I actually think it looks better with Chevy Chase behind, pointing the gun at the guard.
Guard, because we don't know his name either, do we, really?
I think it's Lasky.
Is it Lasky?
Yes.
Right. I like how Rusty then puts his hand over his mouth to stop him being sick.
But when they're setting off, I read that the panic on the faces is real because they were all scared, and like you said, They were vomiting, they were passing out and being made to ride these roller coasters.
Like I say, because they are actually being made to go on this. And I'd be like, no way, living you getting me on that. No way.
I feel nervous watching it.
Yeah, and they, like I say, they're going at some speed, they're tramming round. And then it's how he's, like I say, he's got the gun at it, pointed at him all the time.
And then the police arrive, don't they?
Oh, the SWAT team.
Yes. And when I think the family then are on the pirate ship, what we call the pirate ship, and he's still pointing the gun at Lasky, the security guard, as he's riding.
He does, and then they come onto another roller coaster, don't they?
Oh,
and this is where he says to him, "That's not a real gun; it's a BB gun." And doesn't he say, "Still hurt if I shot you? Still pierce the skin."
Yes,
and he's getting up, isn't he, to get out, and he shoots him in the bum.
Yes, and when he says, "That's not a real gun," he says, "Yes, it is. It's a Magnum PI."
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. And then, like I say, he shoots him in the bum, and then they're back on the ride.
And this ride is worse than the first one.
Yeah.
And the way that they shoot it, it feels as though you're on the ride as well.
I like how they're arguing when they're going up to the top.
Oh, I'd be arguing. And at that point, I'm kind of thinking to myself, maybe those salt peanuts and kind of wine were a bad idea because it's turning my stomach.
Yeah, and then, like I say, they're whipping round here. And it looks like you say, they're all petrified again, screaming. And it's like, I like this bit because it's called the whippersnapper, isn't it? The ride they just come off.
Oh, right, is it? Oh.
Yes, got that one in, the whippersnapper. And as they're coming off, they've all got their arms around each other, haven't they? Feeling quite sick.
Yeah,
Clark and Lasky, hugging each other, talking how good the ride was. And then the SWAT team's there, aren't they? Freeze.
They certainly are.
I like how he puts his hands up, the security guard as well. He's got his hands
he does.
up. You know. And then he gets them to turn round, doesn't he? Put the hands on the head, turn round, walk to the wall. It's how they walk to the wall that does me.
Yeah, and they all get searched. Now, if you notice, there is an order in which these people are stood, and there is a reason for that. At the beginning of the film, Anthony Michael Hall was the same size as Beverly D'Angelo, but he had a growth spurt and he grew 3 inches. And this is only supposed to be a week, so they had to move him because he was now bigger than his mum.
It's amazing how fast you grow in just a short space of time.
But there is a reason for that as well. I think you touched on it right at the beginning, which is they weren't happy with the ending because they did it to a test audience. You know, when you said that they were going to get Walt Disney and hold him up, they actually filmed that, but the test audience didn't like it at all. So they made them re-film the ending, and that's why they got John Candy in to be the security guard.
Yes, I did read something about that because, like I say, everyone was laughing up until this point. And then they stopped laughing, didn't they? Because then it started turning a bit more sinister.
Yes, like you said.
Yeah, and I think this is a better ending. I think this is a better.
Yes.
This is definitely a better way of doing it. And then Roy Wally, he starts listening to him, doesn't he? And starts siding with him, and he says he's not going to press charges.
Oh, and they all hug him, don't they?
They're all hugging him, yeah. And then they're all on the rides at the end. They are together.
Everybody's on it.
Everybody's on it. Yeah, and they're all there, happy as can be, whipping through, and then we see the postcard pictures of them, don't we?
Yes, and it ends with a different song, Dancing Across the USA, but by the same artist, Lindsay Buckingham. Never knew that.
No.
Of Fleetwood Mac.
Like I say, the songs from the 80s films, we keep saying this, the songs are a bigger part of the film as the film is sometimes, I think. They're as memorable as the film.
And I think you've mentioned it many times about things just fitting. And this just fits. The beginning song, the end song. Everything just comes together and fits brilliantly.
Yeah, it is. Watching it back, I did enjoy it. Some bits haven't aged very well. But on the whole, it's still a funny film, which...
Oh, it's great.
You know, has got its moments all the way through. And I think Chevy Chase carries it, and I think he was good in this. Very good in this.
And you've got Beverly D'Angelo playing the mum, the unsung hero, who just goes quietly and like every mum, isn't it? He just does an incredible job of just looking after everybody every day, and it's just expected of them. Yeah, and she plays that part brilliantly.
Of course she does. Like, you know yourself, like your wife, my wife, they're like the boss, the general, the bank manager, the referee. They kind of do everything, don't they?
Yes.
You know what I mean? She's the clean, not the cleaner, you know what I mean? She does the boss of the house, and I always say to my wife, she's the glue that keeps us together. To be honest.
What a romantic saying.
Yeah, I do say that to her. I said, without you, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't.
Very, very good.
Yeah, and you get that with this, don't you, as well?
Oh, you know what? I remember back in the 80s when it went off, I remember that my friend's parents were laughing all the way through this. And that kind of, I don't know, it kind of backed something up for me, because I got my parents, aunties, uncles, or whoever were saying, oh, you wouldn't get American comedy, it's not the same. Yeah, hang on a minute, my friends' parents are English and they're laughing their heads off at it. I think it's funny, they think it's funny. I'll just go with what I think, which I did from then on.
Yeah, best way to be. Like you say, your own opinion is your own opinion, isn't it? I might think something's funny, you might not think it's funny, and vice versa. But to me, watching back, it is funny.
It is.
The 10 to 12-year-old me, when I first watched it, probably wouldn't have found it as funny. I'd have probably just watched it. But now, like I say, with Aunt Edna shouting, this isn't a very classy restaurant, dog killer. It's the little bits like that make you laugh. You know, the little quick bits to it, and it's very good. And it like you say, it is a good film. And
it puts a smile on your face, doesn't it?
It does.
All the way through.
Yeah. You get that sense of family I got from it. You know, the Griswold family, that's the core of the universe for Clark Griswold, is his family, isn't it?
Yes. And I think I remember, again, back in the 80s, it was very difficult. I can't remember whether we had a video player or not, or a video recorder. Well, I think we did. But you couldn't buy it, could you? You couldn't buy a video until a little bit later in the 80s. You had to wait for it to come onto the TV, like you said at the beginning, for you to press play and record, and then watch it over and over again.
Yeah, sometimes you could. I've got some ex-rentals here that said you could buy it, you know, when it came out. You could buy it. I think it's on my over-the-top one. I think it was $89.99 to buy it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like you say. Or you'd have to wait until, say, Woolworths got it. Still then, were they $14.99 back then? Or $9.99?
Yeah, they weren't cheap.
They weren't cheap, but you're thinking you're going to spend £90 on a film to get it quicker to when it comes out as a release. Because like I say, it went to the video shop first, long before you could buy it. So that was the thing, you could buy it as it came into the video shop. So like I say, it's not cheap or record it or wait for a year. It was normally 6 months after a theatrical release to come onto VHS. Some were quicker, 4 months. Or it was normally a year to a year and a half before it hit the TV, normally. So it's a long time, isn't it? Where now, if a film's at the cinema, you can buy that film for $19.99 and you don't have to wait, as opposed to going to the cinema to watch it.
It's a bit wrong in a way, isn't it?
It is. Like you say, our youth, our childhood was built on video shops and films.
And waiting and anticipation.
The wait was better. Like we've said before, getting presents for Christmas, like we've said, your television, your Ataris, or your ColecoVisions, or your Sega, or your Nintendo, you'd have to wait a year sometimes for that thing. Where now, if my kids want it, you get it for them.
Correct.
There is that part of the 80s, for me, I think that's the special bit for me. I think it was the build-up to it, the wait for it, and the excitement when you got it.
Yes, definitely.
Which we don't get now.
Well, Simon, I don't think I'll ever get tired of watching this. And it's one of those films, and I'm sure you'll agree, that they shouldn't remake. They did remake this, and the least we say about that, the better.
Exactly. I've never even watched it. So that tells you everything.
It's exactly what you'd expect. Even though Chevy Chase is in it, it's just, no.
No, leave it alone.
Well, thank you for listening again. We really do appreciate it, don't we, Simon? People
Absolutely.
Take the time to listen.
Of course we do. Anyone that has a listen to us, really appreciate it. And thank you very much. And any comments are always welcome on the... is it on the Spotify one, Darren? You can leave your comments. Leave your comments. If there's anything you want us to cover, put it on there and we'll look into it, won't we, Darren?
We certainly will.
Would you like to know what we're going to be covering next week?
I certainly would.
Now, we spoke about this the other week, so you might think, we spoke about this, but why are you going this route? And there's a reason I'm going down this route. Now, one of our followers, an avid listener to this podcast, and a good friend of mine, and he loves this podcast. He talks to my wife about it, saying that she needs to listen. He tells everyone at the school he works, everyone to listen to it. He's always got it on. And he's asked me to do a film, and I think it's only right, because he's such a big fan of our podcast, Darren, that we do this film.
Absolutely.
For him. So I've mentioned him before. Christopher Rose, this one is for you. Next week, we are going to be doing Predator.
Ooh, Christopher Rose, you beauty. Yeah, Predator. Oh,
Predator.
I can't wait. Absolutely brilliant.
My favourite Schwarzenegger film. So I'm going to look forward to this. So thank you, Chris, for picking Predator. And like I've said, any of our followers, if you'd like us to do one, pick a film and we'll look into it, won't we, Darren?
We're absolutely brilliant. So please be sure to tune in next time where we will be rewatching Predator on 80s Rewatch.